I'm Landon Wright.
I'm Jessica Gray. This is NSU Today.
Today we take a look back on the stories affecting NSU and Natchitoches.
Here at NSU, graduating seniors are in their final weeks and looking toward their futures after college.
So we thought it'd be a good idea to begin NSU Today with a story about what we like to call the student of the future.
As reporter Brandon Hutton tells us, the student of the future will have to do a lot more than just read the want ads and send a resume. He explains.
Hello. What's up, guys? Welcome back.
NSU student Jasmine Frazier is what we would call the ideal student of tomorrow, a strategic communication major paving a road to her future, being a radio personality, YouTube podcaster.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel.
Photographer, an inspiring model, writer, and social media influencer, all while being a college student.
If I'm going to be in the communications field, I need to have what I'm majoring in, or like at least some of the work on my resume. So.
College students, on top of meeting academic standards, are required more than ever to provide tangible work, skills, and experiences when job seeking after college. Rather than a standard resume and a diploma, employers may ask for sample works to showcase skills and talents. This can be stressful for students, but they are not alone in the process. Resources such as the Career Center here at NSU can help guide them and lead them into the right direction within the workforce. Karen Loesch, head of Career Center's Job Location and Development, gives guidance to students on building their portfolio.
Anytime you're doing relevant coursework, it's a good time to start a portfolio. So any project work you do that's going to eventually relate to your major or to the field that you want to go into, that's important to start keeping that back as an option for your portfolio. So even as a freshman, you could maybe just start a folder on your flash drive that's portfolio and keep any project work you do in there that might be relevant.
Loesch gives advice to those that may be late in the process, advising them to seek projects to do on campus such as writing for the school newspaper, joining the yearbook staff, and being a part of the campus radio station.
We're both comm majors. We're both graduating in May. And then y'all are, what are your majors?
Take everything and you put it all in one. Like, what would you say that, this is preparing you for? Like,
My future. Like, doing this right now will only set me up for the future. So, like, when I graduate, everyone will be starting doing what I'm doing. Like, so they'll be at square one. And when I graduate, I don't want to be at square one. I want to be in a position to set myself up to better my financial status. Like, so all the work that I put in these past 3 years in college, like, will reflect when I graduate.
Here with NSU TV News, I'm Brandon Hutton.
With finals week getting closer, many students will be under a lot of extra stress. No surprise there. But I found out that students can reduce their stress by getting off the couch and keeping their bodies active. Demon basketball player Alex Comanita warms up before his daily workout at the rack. The freshman says his workouts keep him focused.
For me personally, one of the ways that it really helps me cope with stress is just coming out here to the gym, exercising every day. I think that really kind of helps me let loose after the studying and whatnot.
For many students, the last half of the semester can be stressful with papers and major projects coming due. Going to the rack and having a good exercise plan can help reduce that stress. If you are thinking of incorporating the gym into your free time as a way to relieve stress, then the rack also offers a staff of certified personal trainers who are also students at NSU.
Being physically active has shown increased benefits both physically and mentally. Physically, you start to see the pounds wear off and you get more motivated to go to the gym and work out. Mentally, physical activity releases endorphins, which is a neurotransmitter that is used to make you feel happier or less depressed, and it also decreases anxiety levels.
Back at the gym, Comanita says, and I quote, "There's a lot of science currently backing it up about how exercise causes the release of hormones into the brain that are related to happiness and feeling good in general. In my personal experience, I feel better physically and sharper mentally after exercising."
Honestly, the only advice I give them is to get out here. It's healthy to be active, and I think pretty much everyone can be more active. That's definitely a non-issue. So yeah, do a little bit of research. There's tons of stuff online on what you can do what can help you. Not everyone's going to start at the same level, so you don't need to go in here. If you see somebody pushing up heavy weights, you might not be there, but you can work towards that level, and as long as you're healthy for your body type and you as an individual, I think that's what's most important.
For NSU News, I'm Landon Wright.
One thing students, staff, and faculty members do not want to happen during finals, or any time for that matter, is the technology to fail. Instructional technology has to maintain hundreds of computers and constantly upgrade software. That's a big job for them.
We have support staff who are always available to be able to work with faculty as they encounter problems so that we can have those resolved very quickly, so there's minimal impact on the class and on the students.
Good luck to all students and IT support staff. The NSU Alumni Association is looking for couples who met here on NSU's campus.
One of the university's most recognizable couples is Dr. Chris and Jennifer Maggio. They met here when Dr. Maggio was a track coach.
So we actually had class on the track where Chris was coaching the women's track team, and they were finishing practice as we started our class. And so we just kind of started talking one day and realized there were numerous times when we were in the same place, knew the same people, and had never met each other. And so that was kind of the start of it. We just started talking there at class, and the rest is history.
If you met your significant other here at NSU, post your Instagram photos using the hashtag NSU Alumni Love Story.
Still ahead on NSU Today, find out how one Demon football player is giving back to his community.
And should student athletes be paid? LaRon Massey tackles the controversy next in sports.
Northwestern State University's trademark is positive student experiences. Our university had the best ratings among the 9 University of Louisiana system schools on this year's Student Satisfaction Survey. Northwestern was top-ranked university for its campus climate, student services, quality of instruction, registration procedures, and being student-centered. I encourage college-bound students to contact us to learn more about the positive student experience at Northwestern.
Welcome back. Student athletes sacrifice their time and their bodies for their team in sports. Many get scholarships, but do some of them deserve to get paid for their sacrifices? NSU basketball standout Ishmael Lane joins us with his take on the issue.
The reason college athletes want to get paid is because they are sacrificing their time and their bodies for their sport, like you said. Athletes feel like the NCAA is making so much money off college games that they should receive some of the money. Another reason college athletes think they should get paid is because they often go to bed hungry at night. They don't have the time to get a job because all their time is put into schoolwork and their sport. Once the cafeteria closes, athletes are pretty much on their own to find food. They do not need a crazy amount of money, just enough to make sure they are not going to bed hungry. Here's NSU Athletic Director Greg Burke.
Student athletes have a challenging schedule of trying to go to class and meet those obligations, yet also meet the obligations of being an athlete. Weights, film, travel, practice, competition, and the old adage is not even having enough money to just go to a movie.
While this is just my opinion, many student athletes feel like something should be done so they don't feel like they're being taken advantage of.
Thanks, Ish. I'm sure this won't be the end of the discussion. As we said, student athletes at NSU are always making big sacrifices. Reporter Kevin Ratliff caught up with one Demon football player who is also making a difference in his community.
Senior football player Dylan Wilson is one of many Northwestern State student athletes that volunteer in the community. By visiting the Natchitoches Magnet School, student athletes are able to join students in a game of dodgeball or basketball.
Well, we've been doing it for a very long time, but we really started like 3 weeks ago, and it's been good ever since, so we kept coming and coming. We bring up a lot of community service hours.
Outside of volunteering, Dylan's busy schedule includes working out, going to class, and studying. But being a role model for the Magnet School children is just as important to him, as he waits for the next class to arrive for a game of basketball. He says it feels good knowing that the students look up to him as a role model.
It was very fun because, they could dream on trying to be like us, motivate them to come out there and play football, do sports, help other people in their lifetime.
With a shared love for sports and being active, the partnership between student athletes and the Magnet School kids is expected to last for years.
Every basketball player has his or her support system. For Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Year Ishmael Lane, he relies on his mom to be his. Reporter Brianna Collins has a story.
Basketball season may be over, but Demon forward Ishmael Lane is still keeping up his game to be the best. It's something his mother Vita Ferdinand always instilled in him. Ferdinand does everything she can to support her son. Since he began playing sports, she's been there every
One
step.
special medal is the one where they won the championship tournament in Vegas.
Knowing that he must eat healthy, balanced meals, she provides him with full meals every 2 weeks.
I started cooking for Ish when he told me that he still would be hungry sometimes at night.
Much like Lane, Ferdinand has a pregame routine. This routine helps to get her and her son's head in the right space before a game.
My pregame ritual is to always send him a text message, getting him ready for the game mentally, and letting him know to stretch, pray, stretch, and pray some more.
The support Lane receives from his mother drives him to play harder. Lane is unsure where basketball will take him next, although he is continuing his workouts and healthy eating habits to stay in the best shape possible.
What's next for me? Hopefully, continue playing basketball, whether it's overseas or in America. Hopefully it could be in America.
Regardless of where Lane goes, he'll always carry his mother's wise words in his head.
Choices have consequences. Whatever choice you make, just be prepared for what may come with it.
With NSU News, I'm Brianna Collins.
Jessica and Landon are back after this short break, and so is the Cat in the Hat.
Iberville Green has a new and permanent stage. The new stage cost approximately $200,000. Construction crews wrapped up their work just in time for this year's Demon Fest 2019. Kappa dancers recently took to the stage over at A.A. Frederick's Auditorium for a one-of-a-kind performance.
And the star of the show is not someone we usually think of as a dancer. Reporter Blake Blanchard joins us with the story.
Landon and Jessica, everyone knows the story of the Cat in the Hat. Recently, Dr. Seuss's most famous cat proved he could be really light on his feet thanks to Kappa dancers. They turned this classic childhood favorite into a performance that captivated old and young.
We all know the story of the Cat in the Hat. Dr. Seuss's classic children's book has won the hearts of many, and NSU Theater and Dance recently adapted it into this original dance performance. Sophomore dance major Alphonse Ingram played the starring role as the Cat in the Hat. He says getting into character came naturally.
I just kind of developed the character throughout the whole process instead of thinking about what it is or who I thought the cat was.
The cast began rehearsals for the show at the beginning of this spring semester, but the production staff has been planning the performance since last semester, designing sets, props, and costumes to bring the story of the cat to life.
There were nights where I would get done with classes and then I'd start rehearsing at 4 and not get home until 11. And it'd be like that 2 to 3 days a week. And it wasn't like anything bad. And that was just me. And there were 6 different groups of people learning choreography.
Choreography included dance styles such as ballet, tap, and contemporary jazz. Brett Garfinkel, one of the main choreographers, says the Cat in the Hat was chosen because of its whimsical style and storybook elements.
Cat in the Hat specifically allowed us to choose certain performers and students that would really highlight
what they're really good at. So it was really, we were really able to highlight the students and their talent.
During its run from March 14th through the 16th, the show attracted more than 2,000 people. Kappa's Theater and Dance Department is now working on its next show, 1940s Radio Hour, which will be coming to Theater West in April.
Well, that was absolutely fantastic. A growing film culture is catching on right here at NSU.
In March, the Spanish Film Festival and the Cane River Film Festival attracted film enthusiasts to movies they might not get to see.
Here's reporter Christian Boudreau with the story.
Flyers for the Spanish Film Festival have been popping up on bulletin boards around campus for weeks.
The Spanish Film Festival is part of a grant program by Prague to Spain Arts and Culture and the Secretary of State for Culture in Spain. And the rest of the funding is provided by the English Department's Foreign Language Labs.
Dr. Allison Rittmeyer teaches English at NSU and brought the film festival to the campus 2 years ago.
We started 2 years ago with the Spanish Language Film Festival, the same one that we're running now, and last year we did a French Language Film Festival. I had known about these opportunities because they're funded by grants and they come out on listservs for film professors, and I always wanted to start one here.
This year's Spanish Film Festival is only part of a growing interest in film in both the city of Natchitoches and the state of Louisiana. In addition to the Spanish Film Festival, the second annual Cane River Film Festival in Natchitoches ran from March 22nd to 23rd. Since the film tax credit of Louisiana was passed in 2002, several Hollywood productions were filmed in the state, including 12 Years a Slave, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and Jurassic World.
I think you'll be back every now and then.
Closer to home, the 80s film Steel Magnolias was entirely shot in Natchitoches. The house used in the movie is still a major tourist spot.
I do think we're kind of growing a cinema culture here in Natchitoches, and we want our festival to be part of that. We want our student filmmakers to be part of that, and the Cane River Film Festival is definitely part of that.
For NSU TV News, I'm Christian Boudreau.
After this short break, a story you don't want to miss.
We have a very special report from reporter Cinnamon Player.
What is it about Natchitoches that draws you in? Narrow roads and brick streets? Walking from here to there? No schedule to follow. Sitting, laughing, lingering. Delicious Louisiana food, quaint accommodations, and lots of unique shops. You'll find the only thing fast is how the time passes. Slow down in Natchitoches, Louisiana.
During Black History Month, reporter Cinnamon Player took on an interesting angle on African American culture.
In this special report, Cinnamon gets to the root of what it takes to go natural.
In June 2017, I decided to start transitioning. In April 2018, that's when I big chopped, and I've been natural ever since then.
NSU student Jasmine Johnson is one of many who decided to wear her hair in its natural state.
That's a lot of money. And my hair's growing. It's growing really fast. I actually get to see what my hair actually looks like, and I love it. It's thick and full and everything, and it looks really healthy.
The growing trend of natural hair is prominent in today's Black community. Black women and men are pushing aside the old trend of chemical straighteners and choosing to show and grow their natural roots. Natural hair has become a common search topic on various platforms such as YouTube and Instagram. Even hair brands are embracing this trend in their commercials, showing more natural looks with their products and catering to the natural hair demographic.
Each and every one of us rocking our natural hair.
But natural hair isn't quite as new. Now seen as a trend was once a movement. Back in the 1960s, while the civil rights movement was progressing, the natural hair movement was alongside it. The Black community wore their natural hair in afros as a political statement, protesting the limitations placed on their rights, civil rights, and right to wear their hair without the need of straighteners and chemicals to conform to the society standards as placed in the 1950s. This isn't the only time in history where black hair had limitations placed. During the late 18th century, black and Creole women in Louisiana were forced to wear head wraps or tignons under the Tignon laws placed by Governor Esteban Rodriguez Miro. Because they wore their hair in such elaborate ways with gems and beads, it was believed to attract the attention of white men. These head wraps can still be seen today, but as a fashion statement rather than a restriction. We've each experienced different decades of black hair, from head wraps to relaxers in the 50s, to afros in the 60s and the 70s, from jerry curls in the 80s, to braids, weaves, and wigs in the 90s, up to today's natural hair trend. Everyone has their own opinion about it, but what about those who style it, deal with it, and see it on a daily, firsthand? Hairstylists. We talked to Candace of Candace J. Styles in Natchitoches about what she thought about the natural hair trend and black hair evolution.
Well, for one, it feels better to their scalp. A lot of people complain about chemical burns too, so people don't really like that. And it's trending to be natural right now too. So I'm gonna say about 80% of my clients, they natural now. I think in the future, we just gonna be in a natural state. I don't think we're gonna be doing relaxers at all. More stylists, they learning how to work with natural hair, how to silk press it out. So.
Beautiful people know true beauty is natural.
Beautiful people know true beauty is natural.
Wear their naturals proudly.
Wear their naturals proudly.
As a symbol of pride and blackness.
As a symbol of pride and blackness.
As a symbol of responsibility to black people.
As a symbol of responsibility to black people.
A responsibility to promote love and unity among black brothers and sisters.
Despite its challenges, it continues its journey. Throw it out and on the journey as well. Here with NSU TV News, I'm Cinnamon Player.
Of freedom and dignity for our people.
And that's the natural truth.
That's it for NSU Today.
I hope you've enjoyed our look back at some of the stories we thought you might like to see.
I'm Jessica Gray.
And I'm Landon Wright.
Have a great summer.